Hey everyone, Dog8798 here. This is my review of Street Fighter Alpha, the movie which I just got done watching thanks to Manga Entertainment, who uploaded the full movie for free here on YouTube. This is one of my all-time favorite anime films, as I said in my favorite anime movie videos. And I first saw this film in 2003, and I've been a huge fan of this movie ever since. Street Fighter Alpha, the movie, of course, I think was created to celebrate the I think it was the tenth anniversary of Street Fighter in 1999. It was either in 99 or 2000, one of those. I saw it for the first time in 2003, and of course, this movie, of course, is based on the Street Fighter Alpha video game series, but of course, it alters several things. It alters a couple of things about it, but for the most part, remains true to the Street Fighter Alpha games. I always like to call this Street Fighter film the underrated one because underrated version, because out of all the other Street Fighters, this one is probably like the most like underrated. It's the most overlooked. It's overshadowed by its predecessor, Street Fighter 2, the anime film, and of course the Street Fighter 2 Victory television series, which came after the anime film. But I saw this film. This film was pretty damn. This film was pretty damn awesome. The story in this film, the storytelling in this film was better and way better than I remember. This film, of course, follows Ryu, who is still struggling with the death of still trying to overcome the death of his master Gotetsu, and of course and trying to master the and trying to withstand the Dark Hado with the Dark Hado power. After beating up some Aegis during a hostage situation, beating up some Shadaloo Aegis during a hostage situation, Ryu meets Chun-Li, who Chun-Li was doing research on him, and Chun-Li discovers that, of course, he is the man who defeated Sagat, the Muay Thai champion. Then, of course, Ryu later meets up with his best friend, Ken, to discuss Gotetsu and the Dark Hado. Ken, of course, is in Japan to enter the Shadaloo tournament held by Sadler, the main antagonist of the film, and a little boy named Shun comes out of nowhere and tells Ryu that he is his brother, much to the disbelief of Ken, who keeps mocking him and teasing him for the first part of the film in several comical moments. Like I said, this film was awesome. The animation and artwork the animation is phenomenal. The artwork is very unique. It's very modern and unique. And of course, and the fighting is brutal and intense, just like the video games, the film had almost all of its characters. It had Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Birdie, Saddam, Guy, Aiden, and Don, and even Vega making a cameo, and Sakura. But of course, the plot mainly follows Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, showing the little boy, and Sakura. All the other Street Fighter characters I just mentioned are just participants in the tournament, which is probably one of the only problems I have with this film, or all the Street Fighter films, that, well, since it's a film, you got to find a script that accommodates all of the characters, and that kind of just leaves some characters neglected and just kind of there. The only other problem I have with that, speaking of neglecting characters, is that Zangief, in all the Japanese versions of Street Fighter, they do not do him any justice. He's always someone's lackey. Or just a tournament participant. And in Street Fighter 2, the animated film, and in this film right here, he presumably dies, and then it cuts to a next scene. In Street Fighter 2 anime film, he gets electrocuted by Blanca. He's not in the whole film for the whole. He's not in the movie for the whole movie. Then he appears in one scene for a fight with Blanca, and he gets electrocuted, and it turns to another scene. Here in Street Fighter Alpha, after a awesome fight with Shun and Ryu. With Ryu, he falls on the cliff. He falls in the ground breaks, and he falls into the cliff, into the canyon somewhere. See, that's what I'm talking about. Not doing Zangief any justice in the Japanese adaptations of Street Fighter, and the only other problem I have with this film is that this film, of course, just like the other Street Fighter film, indicates a sequel, but they never make any more. That's the only thing I hate about the Street Fighter stuff. They always make this awesome stuff, and they always set up sequels, but they never make any more. So yeah, but everything else about this film was great. The story was great. The fighting was awesome, especially the final fight with Ryu and Ken versus Sattler. And speaking of Sattler, of course, like I said, it takes several liberties with the game. Of course, in this film, instead of in Bison, the character a new character named Sattler is the head of Shadaloo. But he pretty much has Bison's backstory from the video games. And he was a pretty awesome bad guy, good replacement for Bison. Sagat is mentioned but is not seen, despite his involvement in the Alpha series. Akuma, while having a major role in the film, doesn't do much in this film. Akuma doesn't do much in this film, despite his huge involvement in the Alpha series. Saddam and Guy are just tournament participants, and Saddam is mostly comedy relief. Cody is nowhere to be seen. Rose, who's also in the film, her backstory is pretty much remained intact, and she has a big role, but she doesn't do any fighting. But I don't think she did any fighting in the games either, except she's just a playable character in the games. Ryu and Ken and Sakura, all their stories, of course, are left intact. So is Chun-Li. Chun-Li even has her Alpha outfit, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, pretty good adaptation of Street Fighter Alpha. Once again, sucks that there was no follow-up or a better reboot. You can do even better today with a brand new movie or a television series. Well, this was my review of Street Fighter Alpha, the movie. I'm going to do Street Fighter 2, the anime film, next, and going to be doing several videos on these two movies. Alright, Doug out.